Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yaśodā Nandana Braja Janarandan Yaśodā Nandana Braja Janarandan Yaśodā Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yaśodā Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yaśodā Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Shri Radhe, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Shri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Kora Nitai, Jaya Mayapur Sasi, 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 Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra Mai, Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra Mai, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavan Dham, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavan Dham, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. श्री नाम संकीर्तन की
जय
समवेत भक्त वृंद की
जय
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Mukesh,
Hope everyone doing good.
yes,
Okay, that's great. Hare Krishna.
it's lovely snow outside today. Imagine.
Yes. Yeah. Since morning.
Yeah, even now there's plenty of snow outside. They're lovely.
Okay. Okay. So let's chant the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudire. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजाङ्ग्रहे ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे हरे
Hare Hare Rama, Rama
राम
Rama,
हरे
Hare
हरे हरे कृष्ण
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
So welcome you all again, and today we are going to enter into the more blissful pastimes of Lord Krishna. And we have discussed, we are discussing Canto 10, and we have discussed till chapter 8 as of now, and where we'll see how Krishna has actually killed demons and how he's doing some pastimes as well. So now, Krishna has once showed his universal form to Mother Yaśodā very quickly. And now, in this chapter, chapter 9, where Krishna is going to, is being bound by Mother Yaśodā. And that's like basically the whole pastime of the Damodar month. We call it Damodar month as well. Let's see what happens there. That's a nice and beautiful pastime. We remember in Damodar month or Kartik month, we used to offer lamb to Damodar for a whole month at the ghee lamp, and offering a ghee lamp to Lord Damodar. We got so many, even we can't count the bliss or blessings what we get by worshipping Lord Hari in this form of Damodar. So let's see it. So what happened once? One day, Mother Yaśodā, she personally began to churn the yogurt, and actually so many the maidservant were busy, and Mother Yaśodā thought, let me churn the yogurt. And many devotees they describe it that Mother Yaśodā being complained by so many other gopis that Krishna comes and he thieves or takes away all the yogurt, he gives to monkeys and he gives to other things. So mother thought, let me churn yogurt for him. And while churning, she was actually remembering all the pastimes of Lord Krishna. It was early in the morning. Krishna was sleeping as of now, and she was singing the song, all the activities of Lord Hari by a song. And then by remembering that, she is making a very nice song. And being described, well, she was churning, and this her bangles and the churning rod and the sound was coming. It actually making very much in a sync, and looks like these are playing instruments while Mother Yaśodā was singing. So that's glorious pastime Mother Yaśodā was doing. And Lord Krishna was sleeping, and however, he got to know, and he got up, and he desired to drink mother's milk, and he directly came up and hold the churning rod. Earlier, I don't know now it happens or not, but in earlier days, I remember, our mothers, they used to churn, even not mothers, grandmothers, they used to churn this yogurt in a home. And then Lord Krishna came, and then he actually hold that churning rod, and whole churning of being stopped by Mother Yaśodā. And then Mother Yaśodā, with great affection towards Lord, she allowed her to sit on her lap, and then Krishna began to drink milk from her body. And at the same time, Mother Yasoda could see that a pan of milk, which was boiling over there, it was actually started overflowing. And devotees, they they describe it very nicely, saying that why does this uh, pan of milk of start overflowing? In a spiritual world, everything is a living entity, everything is as a person. So this milk personified, he thought that now this milk was been boiling because of for Krishna, so that Krishna could drink. And it's being said that Nanda Maharaj has so many Survi cows, and these are the cow milk from the Survi cows, and it was for Krishna. And that milk thought, as now Krishna is drinking milk from Mother Yasoda, what is the use of me now? Let me burn away, right? And then he started overflowing. However, Mother Yasoda saw it, and she kept aside to Krishna for a while, and she ran to take care of the milk pot, which was boiling on the stove, or on the fire, you can say. So Krishna, however, he was not fully satisfied, and he became angry, and with false tear in his eyes, he broke the containers of yogurt, and he took small stones, and he broke yogurts, and then he entered to a room and began to eat freshly churned butter in a secluded place, in the room inside alone. And now Mother Yasoda, while taking care of the pot which was boiling, which was overflowing, and by taking care of that, Mother Yasoda came back from that. And when Mother Yasoda came, and she could see that the container are broken and Krishna was not present there. So however, as Krishna moved from after breaking this pot to another room, but the little child, small child, he has this footprints marked on the floor, and Mother Yasoda followed that footprint, and she could found where Lord Krishna is. And when she entered the room, she could see that Krishna was sitting on a wooden mortar, upside down. Wooden mortar is basically, it used to be a kind of grinding where they used to grind the grains earlier days. All right. And there Krishna has made it upside down, and he was actually standing on that, and he is eating this butter. And also, he did not just, he actually distributing this butter to the monkeys through the windows. And he was actually looking around all the time with the fear that might Mother Yasoda could come. And when Lord Krishna saw her mother coming, and mother was coming very slowly after seeing Krishna, and she was holding a stick in her hand. And by seeing that, he became a bit kind of, and then he quickly got down from the top of the mortar and began to run, afraid of Mother Yasoda. So devotee explained that Krishna, who creates the whole creation, whole material cosmos, even the spiritual as well as material world, and now he is running, and Mother Yasoda is chasing him. Just imagine. And Mother Yasoda is running behind him to catch Lord Krishna. And devotee explains very nicely, and Prabhupada says that the yogis, the jnanis, they try to catch Krishna. They want to see, but it's very, very difficult for them. Bhagavad Gita says, Manushyanam sastrestu kaschidati siddhaye etatam apischidanam kaschid mamaveti tattvatah. Very rarely anyone can know me very completely or in full strength. And now that personality is running out of afraid, and he is being afraid of being beaten by Mother Yasoda. But Mother Yasoda could manage to catch him after some time. She was actually running behind, and she could manage to catch him. And Krishna, he became more and more afraid and admitted of being an offender. And he was thinking, now Mother Yasoda is holding a stick, and now I'm going to be beaten now. And he was crying. These are false crying, though he's crying very nicely. And he says it, and his tears mixing with black ointment. We used to put kajal in the eyes when we sleep in the night, and it was all blackish. And then it being said that basically with nice ointment actually for the eyes. And I don't see here, but normally in India we used to put kajal for the kids, even in an early time, when a child is all the time every day. When they grow up, it goes down, but it's a very nice ointment for the eyes as well. So it was there in his eyes, and he was crying, and that no tears with that black ointment, it became all eyed, and he was rubbing his eyes as well with his hands, and he smeared the ointment all over his face. This pastime, I think it was His Grace Amarendra Prabhu described very nicely. He said that Krishna was not fear, and what he was doing is he was actually showing Mother Yaśodā that look who am I, and he's rubbing his whole eyes and making his all black, and saying to Mother Yaśodā, like, look, I am Lord Jagannath with big eyes, black eyes, right? So that's an indication to Mother Yaśodā that I'm the same Jagannath, I'm the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. And however, anyway, when she saw that her son has become extremely afraid, or then Mother Yaśodā thought to she actually threw the stick, and she desired to bind Krishna, so that a punishment is required to make the kids to in a proper line sense. So she thought, if I bind him, then it would he would not commit any kind of naughty activities in his further time. So Mother Yaśodā thought to bind Krishna, and this one of the verse describes whom Mother Yaśodā is going to bind. Just imagine, it says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has no beginning, no end. Right? Who has no beginning, no end, no interior, no exterior, no front, no rear. In other words, he is all pervading. Right? Even Arjuna speaks the same thing when he saw the Virata Roop of Lord in chapter in Bhagavad Gita, and he could not imagine where he's starting, where it's ending. In a similar way, it's being described by Sukadeva Goswami here. And because Lord Krishna is not under the influence of any element of the time, we are influenced by the time. Time is ticking towards our death, but Krishna is not influenced by the time. And for him, there is no difference between past, present, and future. He is always youth, and he exists in his own transcendental form all the time. So that's a point to all the the different types of yogis who think that it's everything is void, everything is null, everything is nirakar. It's not that. Krishna has transcendental form. That is what I call Sachidananda Vigraha. Lord Brahma says the same thing as well in the Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna means Ishvara means controller. So when we are controller, we control in a very minute thing. We control very, very limited things, but still we are controlled. We are controller. But Parama controller or Parama Ishwara is who? Parama Ishwara is Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna. So Supreme controller is Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha. And how he is? Satchit Ananda Vigraha. He is all transcendental, eternal, full of eternal, full of blissful, and full of knowledge. Sachidananda Vigraha. So that's how Krishna is. His body is transcendental, and he is absolute, and he is free from distractions between cause and effect. So he has no cause, he has no effect. Although he is cause and effect of everything. So everything emanates from him only. And that unmanifested person who is beyond the perception of senses. By the senses, we cannot perceive Lord Krishna. And had now appeared as a child. He has appeared as a human child. And Mother Yaśodā, considering him as her own ordinary child, she is trying to bind him on an wooden mortal with a rope. So just imagine the description of Lord Krishna, and whom Mother Yaśodā, with lovingly affection, with parental love, she is trying to bind Krishna so that he doesn't do any kind of mischief activities in the future, right? And while Mother Yasoda was trying to bind this her offending child, a naughty child, and she saw that the binding rope was sought by two finger sort. It always the two finger sort. She bound Kṛṣṇa, and then it remained two finger short. When she wanted to make a full knot, she could not. And then she gets some more rope. She tied the rope and then again bound Kṛṣṇa, and she could again see that there are always two fingers short. And she joined so many ropes. It's been described that she had joined so many ropes, all the ropes she got in her house, and even she got some more ropes from the other gopis. But still, all the time it was two fingers short. And devotees or the senior Vaishnavas and acharyas, they explained what this two finger short means. It has a real, very, very, very deep meaning. The two finger short is that one is our endeavor. To get anything, we have to endeavor for it. We have to do work for it. We have to do hard work for it. And the second is mercy of Lord. So we need mercy of Lord for everything. So this is two finger short, a lesson to every one of us, that we have to work in this material world. We have to, whatever we need, we have to work for it. However, at the same time, we need blessings of Lord Kṛṣṇa as well. So with full kind of dedication, enthusiasm, we have to work, and then we have to pray Kṛṣṇa that Kṛṣṇa, please bless us, please bless me. So that is how this two finger short is being described by senior Vaishnavas. And Mother Yasoda, her friends, the elderly gopis, they're all seeing these pastimes of Lord Kṛṣṇa, and they were smiling and enjoying the fun. Right. So everyone is there and everyone is enjoying the Leela of what Kṛṣṇa is going to do. And then Sukadeva Goswami explains that, O Maharaj Parishit, this entire universe with its great exalted demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Lord Indra is under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet the Supreme Lord has one transcendental attribute. He come under the control of his devotees. This was now exhibited by Kṛṣṇa in this pastime. So Kṛṣṇa, after seeing that her mother is perspiring, she has done all the hard work. She has become fatigued now, and he became merciful to Mother Yasoda, and he agreed to be bound by love. So it's not possible for anyone to bind Kṛṣṇa, but Kṛṣṇa can be bound only by love. We discussed earlier as well. Kṛṣṇa is what? Bhakta Paradhino. I am being bound by the love of devotion only. No other thing can bind Kṛṣṇa. So now Sukadeva Goswami explained the same thing as well, that by the love of Mother Yasoda, and Kṛṣṇa has came, he managed to get bound. He agreed to bound by Mother Yasoda, and how he comes under the control of the devotees. So a devotee is one who can actually control Kṛṣṇa. We discussed earlier by the example that a kite looks to be flying very nicely in the sky. From a long distance, we see the kite is flying, but when we go closer towards the kite, we could see that the kite always being tied with a rope or the thread, and that thread is being controlled by a person, maybe on the roof of his terrace, isn't it? And the person is actually controlling the kite. That's why a kite is flying very nicely. If the rope or the thread has been cut out, that kite would flow here and there. It has no control. In the similar way, it looks like Kṛṣṇa is independent. He's doing all these activities, but he's actually being controlled by his devotees. And that is how that rope, that thread, which actually is a link by which a devotee binds Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa is kite in this example, and this rope or thread, say, that's actually the devotion, or by which we chant the holy name of Lord. And the person can bind Kṛṣṇa by chanting his glories, by chanting his names, by offering his prasadam, by taking his prasadam, by glorifying him. That is how Kṛṣṇa is bound by love of the devotees. And Prabhupada says he was finally defeated, and Mother Yasoda captured him. And Krishna, Prabhupada says that Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sabhya Shemramanam. Lord Krishna is served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. Nonetheless, he steals butter like one who is poverty stricken. So can we think that Krishna is poverty stricken? He is stealing butter? No, he is stealing butter to give pleasure to his devotees. So he wanted all the gopis, all the elderly gopis, motherly gopis, they have more affection toward Krishna. That's why he is stealing butters. But he is not poverty stricken. He has so many Survi cows, just not about the ordinary cows Nanda Maharaj has, and he could get all whatever he wants. But to do the pastime, to increase the pleasure in the heart of devotees, Lord Krishna is doing this pastime, right? And Prabhupada mentioned this in purport that there's a comparative study between Mother Yaśodā and the devotees of the Lord and the other devotees of the Lord. As stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ekela Ishwara Krishna Arasabha Bharata, means the only one Supreme Master is Krishna and all others are his servants. Everyone else except Krishna, everyone else is his servant. And Krishna has transcendental quality of Bhartavatsaya, Vasyata, being subordinate to his Bhartya, means or servant. So he becomes subordinate to his servant. And now, although everyone is servant, and although Krishna has the quality of being subordinate to his servant, the position of Mother Yaśodā is the greatest. So Mother Yaśodā is the greatest of this love, affection for Lord Krishna in parental way, right? And then Sukadeva Goswami continues saying that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the son of Mother Yaśodā, is accessible to the devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service. But he is not easily accessible in mental speculation to those striving for self-realization by severe austerity and penances, or to those who consider the body the same as the self. So here Sukadeva Goswami clearly mentions that the category of Jnana Yoga or Dhyana Yoga, it becomes very, very difficult to understand Lord Krishna. But with love or with spontaneous loving service towards Lord Krishna, Krishna is accessible. Krishna can be understood, right? So that is a very, very important learning from this chapter. And we see that whom this from his navel whole cosmos creates, manifested, and still that personality is being bound only by the love of devotional service. No other way is there to bind Krishna. No other way, no other way. And after binding Krishna, Mother Yaśodā became busy with her household affairs, and Supreme Lord Krishna, he could observe the two trees as Yamala trees, which is former millennium had been the demigod son of Kuvera. So he could see the two trees in his courtyard, and these two trees were actually the son of Kuvera, this Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva. So in their former birth, these two sons, known as Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva, were extremely opulent because they are son of Kuvera and they are very fortunate. However, because of the pride and false prestige, they did not care about anyone, and thus Narada Muni had cursed them to become trees. So this by Narada Muni, and these two trees, they got the life of tree. So even Prabhupada explained that in Bhagavad Gita, that anyone who desire to be naked and expose their body, so their next life is awaited as trees, because trees, they are always naked and standing, and they stand naked with for all the winters, so all the seasons. So and then by hearing this description from Sukadeva Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj humbly asks a question, that how you enter chapter number 10. Parikshit Maharaj asks a question that what was the cause of Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva having been cursed by Narada Muni, and why does he curse? Because Narada Muni was an exalted devotee and how he could become angry on them. So please describe the whole pastime, what happened. Then Sukadeva Goswami, he says that these two uh, son of Kuvera, they were very, very proud of their association with Lord Shiva, because Lord Shiva has given all the opulence to Kuvera, and then these are the blessings to Kuvera. And because Kuvera is known to be very opulent, and because of the opulent, these two sons of Kuvera, Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva, they are very proud. And once, because of association of Lord Shiva, they used to wander wherever they want, and they were wandering on the bank of Mandakini river, and they drank some liquor called as Varuni, and accompanied by some girls, they were enjoying in water. And then it's like described like just like two male elephants enjoying in the water and with female elephants. So these two are enjoying in the water, and by their fortune, Devarshi Narad or Narada Muni once appeared by chance. So this Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva, they were actually in the Mandakini river. They were enjoying with these girls, and Narada Muni by chance appeared there. And seeing this intoxicated, their eyes were all rolling, and he could understand their situation. And these young girls, however, they became very ashamed, and they covered them herself. However, these two sons still standed naked, and they didn't care about presence of Narada Muni, and they remained naked, and because they are completely drank and they were in a different kind of intoxicated state, they could not care at all of Lord Narada Muni. And in order to show them special mercy, desired to give them a special curse. So whenever we have discussed this earlier as well, whenever these great devotees, like great acharyas, this Narada Muni, when they curse, they actually provide some special mercy. And Sukadeva Goswami says that in order to show them special mercy, he desired to give them a curse. And then the Muni, he cursed them, that he actually described some points before cursing. He said that when one is uneducated but falsely puffed up by wealth, the result is that one engages his wealth in enjoying wine, women, and gambling. So this is the one way. Normally, in general, people used to spend their wealth in enjoying wine, women, and gambling. We can see it very clearly in this Kali Yuga. There is no doubt in that. And then Narada Muni explained that when pride is being born in an aristocratic family or having beauty, they forget that this body is produced by the unmanifested nature or Pancha Mahabhut, and again annihilated and merged in the same natural element. So whatever this aristocratic family or the beauty we have, that's going to be in vain in some time, in due course of time. And then Narada Muni says that atheist fools and rascals who are very much proud of wealth fail to see things as they are, and therefore returning them to poverty is a proper ointment for their eyes, so they may see things as they are. Because when a person becomes poverty, they can realize the painful situation, and therefore he will not want other to be in painful conditions like his own. So Narada Muni explained that when one person is in poverty, he could realize what the condition is, and he would not wish that other persons should come in these conditions. And by saying that, since Narada Muni says that since these two persons drank with the liquor like Varuni and Madhavi, and unable to control their senses, and have been blinded by the pride of celestial opulence, and have become attached to women, I shall relieve them of their false prestige. And because of the false prestige and madness of drinking this liquor, they are so fallen that they are naked but could not understand what they are. And therefore, he said that because they are living like trees. For trees are naked but are not conscious. So in a similar way here, this Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva have lost their consciousness and they are standing naked. So Narada Muni told that the best ointment or best medicine for this is like trees, because they are behaving like trees. Because trees, they stand naked, but still they don't have consciousness, or they have consciousness, but the consciousness are not being much developed as we are. Because if a person stand naked, he would become more ashamed, but the trees don't. And then these two young men should become or get a bodies of these trees, and this is their proper punishment. So this was in curse by Narada Muni. However, there is a boon behind this curse, and the what boon is, he said that these two, Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva, will become tree until they are released by the mercy. They will have remember they will actually they will be released by Lord Kṛṣṇa. Until that, they will be remembering their past sinful activities. So even in the form of tree, they would remember what they have done or how they have been cursed. And then he says, by special favor, after the expiry of 100 years, 100 years of the devatas, they will be able to see Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, face to face. That's a boon they got. Though they got a curse to become a tree, but they got a boon to see Kṛṣṇa face to face. To Kṛṣṇa, not just Kṛṣṇa, they could see all the pastime of Kṛṣṇa by standing before the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj house. And thus, they will revive their real position as a devotee. So after a pastime, when the time overs, Kṛṣṇa will deliver them. And so that is how Sukadeva Goswami says, Nanda Maharaj, after saying this, he turned to his ashrama, and these two sons became Arjuna tree. So the Arjuna tree, with which they are before the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. And then he slowly approached. So Kṛṣṇa was, imagine, Kṛṣṇa was now bound by this wooden mortar. And then Kṛṣṇa, by crawling, he actually he approached toward these two trees. And these two trees, I think, just one second, I might have the pictures. Yeah. So can you see the picture now? So this picture is, it's Lord Kṛṣṇa is bound by the wooden mortar, and then he went towards this tree, and then let me show the picture. This is the tree. So these were the two Arjuna tree which are fallen here, and then Lord Kṛṣṇa approached toward the two tree, and the mortar was stuck in the two trees in between of that. And then he just slightly went ahead. This two tree became uprooted from the root. Just imagine a small child, he's breaking this two tree. That's how Kṛṣṇa's strength is. Right? And then when when the tree became uprooted, their trunk, leaves, branches, they trembled severely and then fell on the ground with great crash. And these two personalities, or the personalities, this you can see this in the picture, these two, Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva, they appeared from the tree. And they appeared from the tree, and they bowed down, they bowed their head to offer obeisances to Lord Kṛṣṇa, and with folded hand they speak and they glorify to Lord. They say, "O Lord, whose glorifies are covered by your own energy." So Krishna's my energy is covered, his glorifies, and you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you are same Shankarshana, the origin of creation, and you are Vasudeva, the origin of all Chaturvyu. And because you are everything, and therefore the Supreme Brahman, we simply offer our obeisances unto you. And he glorified Lord Krishna, and then says, he says, this is, O supreme form, we are always servant of your servants, especially Narada Muni. By the blessing of Narada Muni, they could actually see the pastimes of Lord Hari, and now gives us the permission so that we may live for our home. And it is by the grace and mercy of Narada Muni that we have been able to see you face to face. And they glorified more, saying, you are extraordinary, incomparable, your transcendental activities are unlimited, full of power, full of strength. And though you take many a birth, many a incarnation like fish, tortoise, and others, but still you are the same person who has appeared before us. And henceforth, may all of our words describe your pastimes. May our ears engage in oral reception of your glories. May our hand, legs, and other senses engage in actions pleasing you. And may our mind always think of your lotus feet. May our head offer our obeisances to everything within this world. And because all things are also yours, different form, and may our eyes see the form of Vaishnavas who are not different from you. So that's again, they glorified the devotees as well, Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva. So, if you remember earlier as well, how we can engage our mind, hand, all these things, all the senses towards serving Lord Hari. In a similar way, this Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara glorified Lord, and then they wanted to go back. And Prabhupada says, Supreme Lord, who was bound by the ropes, he smilingly spoke to this Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva. He says, the great saint Narada Muni is very, very merciful, and by his curse, he showed the greatest favor to both of you, who were mad after material opulences and who had thus become blind. Although you fell from the higher planet of Swargaloka and became trees, you were most favored by him, because they could see Krishna to face. They could see Krishna's all the pastimes. And I knew all of these incidents from very beginning. And Krishna told that, I know everything. And when one is face to face with the sun, there is no longer darkness for them. In a similar way, when one is face to face with sadhu or the devotee who is fully determined and surrendered to the Supreme Lord, one is no longer be subject to mental bondage. That is why it is being all the time is we say that sadhu sangha is very, very important, and that is why association of the devotees are the things to be done. And Prabhupada says, quoting again the verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, sadhu sangha sarva shastra kahe, lo mat sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. And if by chance we meet a sadhu, a pure devotee of Lord, our one life is immediately successful. So our life can be successful by meeting a devotees or pure devotees, and one who is free from mental bondage. So by the single meeting of a pure devotee, our all mental bondage can be freed. And then by saying that, Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva, now we may go back to home, as said by Lord Krishna to them. And since you desire to be always absorbed in my devotional service, your desire to develop love and affections for me will be fulfilled. So Lord again assured that the desire you had to serve, to remember, to see, that will be also been fulfilled. And now you will never fall again to this platform. Then this Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva, they circumambulated Lord, and then they returned back to their abode, back. And that is how we discussed about these 2 chapters, where how Krishna is bound by Mother Yaśodā, and then how these 2 trees, they actually broke. These 2 trees being delivered by Lord Krishna as Nalakūvara and Maṇigrīva. So we'll continue from tomorrow, chapter 11 as well, and what happens after these pastimes when the trees are being broken and it make a huge noise. What happened next, we'll see tomorrow. If anyone have any questions, any doubt, or any thoughts, please let me know. We can discuss. Hare Krishna. If we have no doubt, no questions, so thank you very much, everyone. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Yeah.
jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki
Yeah.
jai.
Jai.
Anand Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki
Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.